y'all, it's Hannah and welcome back to my channel, or hi, hello if you're new here. If you're new here, hi, hello, and welcome. Today I have a review and demo on the Emerald City collection from Rising Star Cosmetics. They have a highlighter palette in the collection, an eyeshadow palette in the collection, and they also have a lip mask as well as 2 lip glosses. So, if you would like to see any of these products, then keep on watching this video. First things first, I did put on my eyebrows. I used the Morphe Brow Pomade in the shade Biscotti, and I also primed my eyes with the Makeup Revolution. This is just their little potted concealer. I am in the shade Light Pink, and this works really nice as an eyeshadow primer. So what we're going to do first is we're going to go ahead and prime, or not prime, but we're going to prep the lips. So this is Rising Star MUA. This is the Lullaby Lip Nighttime Lip Moisture, which we can use it today. It's fine during the day. It just comes in this cute little box, and then you just take it out. This packaging is adorable. It's like totally fitting the theme of the Wizard of Oz, because it's like green and yellow, like follow the yellow brick road, and then emerald semi. So this is what the packaging looks like for the lip balm. It's just in a plastic little crystallized container. The cap is green, and then it has the SR logo on it for Rising Star Cosmetics. And it has like one of those little thingies in front of it, and then it smells like bubble gum, and it's pink. I did put my finger in this by accident. But it's just pink. So what we're going to do is I'm actually going to take and borrow this little spatula from the e.l.f. lip mask and put this on my lips just to moisturize the lips and get the lips prepared for the glosses and all that jazz. The lip mask. So when I seen that this was in the collection, I was like, OMG. Oh, it feels so good and creamy. They're very moisturizing. And it actually kind of does taste like bubble gum. So it smells like bubble gum and it tastes like bubble gum. That is really pretty. It also kind of looks very like glowy on the lips. Like it doesn't have any glitter in it or anything like that. But it does feel very soft and very moisturized. Now we're going to play with There Is No Place Like Home eyeshadow palette. Now this is a pressed pigment palette. And I believe there is, I haven't even counted like how many shadows is in here. I think there's 12. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9. Okay, so there's 9 eyeshadows in this palette, and they're all pressed pigment. So I don't really know how to describe a pressed pigment other than a pressed pigment is different than an eyeshadow because it has more intense pigment in it. So they're a little bit more, how do I describe this? Like they're a little bit more intense. And when you blend them out, I found in the past, like certain ones, they can look a little patchy. So what I think I'm going to do is start out with the shade Judy, which is just the pink shade right there. And each little shade is named after something in the movie or named after people that were like in the movie. Like Judy, for instance, is named Judy because Judy Garland was the one that played Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz. I'm taking this onto an Essence Short Blender brush, and I'll apply this to the crease. Okay, so as you can tell, the shade at Judy is very, very pigmented. Now what we're going to do is take the shade at Magic Wand, and this is like a swirled color of pink and purple, and we're just going to pack this onto the lid with a flat shader brush. So the shade of Magic Wand applied it beautifully. I did wet my brush with a little bit of the MAC Fix Plus because I like to apply my shimmer shades with a little bit of a mist to them, so that way they're a bit more intense. And I really like the way that this shade looks. It's a really pretty, I would say it's almost like a, not a violet, but like a lilac color. when it gets on the eyes, because the pink and the purple swirls like in the shadow kind of balance each other out. I kind of did mess up the wand indent and that was pressed into the palette, so when I do my close-up it's not going to be there, and I forgot to do my close-ups before I sat here and filmed this video, so that's wonderful. You're not going to get to see that, and I'm really sorry, but it was really pretty. It had like a wand. I probably should have told y'all this before, but this is going to be like a Glinda inspired. Look, I learned her name last night. It's Glinda because I watched it. Now what I'm going to do is take the shade Ding Dong. It's just a really deep purple color. And I'm going to take this with the Morphe Nikita Dragon Brush. I don't know. These aren't, well, it's a N4 brush. And I'm going to take this onto the outer corner. So I finished up the rest of my face and I put my lashes on. So now we're going to do the lower lash line and we're going to highlight on camera. So I'm going to go back into the There Is No Place Like Home palette and we're going to finish up the rest of the eyes. Now, I think what I'm going to do is take the shade Bluebird and kind of smudge that along the lower lash line area. Just because I like that shade and I want to play with it. It's so pretty. Someone commented a while back on my TikTok and they were like, you do nothing but blue eyeshadow looks. And I can't argue. Like, I love blue eyeshadow. I have a ridiculous amount of blue eyeshadow. And guess what? I get so excited when I get a palette. I'm going to use the L Small detailed brush to apply the shade. But I get so ridiculously excited when I see a blue eyeshadow in a palette. Oh my Lanta, that is everything I want in a blue eyeshadow and more. That is so pretty. OMG. I'm obsessed. It's like a fun pop of blue down there. And who doesn't love a fun pop of color? Because I totally do. So. But I just get so ridiculously excited when I see blue. Like, it just makes me so happy. And I feel like it looks really good with my brown eyes as well. I don't really do a lot of pinks or purples. I don't know. I mean, I like the way that this looks on my brown eyes too, but man, oh man, there is just something about blue eyeshadow with my brown eyes. I tell you what. I don't know what it is, but it's just something about it. I'm going to go into the Rare Beauty mascara for the lower lashes. I'm going to also highlight my inner corner with this palette as well. I was going to use the highlight palette, and I might do that, but I think I'm going to use the silver in the palette to highlight the inner corner with, because it's a really pretty silver and it needs to be played with. I was very torn on what I was going to do for the lid, if I was going to do Magic Wand, or if I was going to do that silver, and I was like, you know what? Do Magic Wand, and then do silver on the inner corner. So that is what I'm going to do. Okay, so now I'm going to take the shade Metalhead, and last night I decided to learn some things about The Wizard of Oz. Just to kind of get me pumped for this little collection. This is a lip brush, and I like to use this to highlight the inner corner with. So apparently, the person that played the Tin Man, he actually passed away like after the movie was made, because the paint that they used to paint him silver was actually lead-based, and he passed away of lead-based poisoning, which is really sad. There was like a lot of sadness surrounding that movie. I had no idea. Like, that's actually, there was just a lot of things. The little dog in the movie, they lost like where he was buried at. Like, the person that had him, like, he was kind of passed around, which is really sad. So, there was just like a lot of sadness. And I kind of don't even really want to talk about all of it, but it was a very sad documentary that I watched about this movie. I was like, well, okay, it's a very happy movie, but there was a lot of dark things kind of going on behind the scenes. Alright, y'all. That silver is so pretty. Alright, so here is, I'm going to have to fix this lash off camera. Here is my final thoughts on this palette. I love this palette. It is so pigmented. I definitely recommend this palette. This is probably my favorite thing that I tried out of the collection by far. I feel like it really hit the head, like, really hard with, like, all the color schemes of the movie and everything. It just really ties in with the theme, which obviously it's supposed to, but, like, it's so pretty. I love it. It's so pigmented, very easy to blend out. Like I was saying earlier, pigments, normally they're very patchy, they're very hard for me to blend out, but these were not doing that, although the pigments that I used to try were the Jeffree Star eyeshadow palettes. I never really too much cared for his formula, but this is a really good pigment formula, because it was very easy to blend out. It didn't look patchy, it doesn't look patchy, it looks very opaque, it's very bright. I really, really like the way that my eyeshadow turned out with this palette. It was very smooth, creamy, very easy to work with. So I definitely think if there was one thing out of this entire collection that you're going to get, I definitely think it should be the palette. But let's get into playing with the highlight palette and the glosses. The Over the Rainbow palette, this is the highlighter palette. This is a baked highlighter formula. And on the back here, it just says follow the Yellow Brick Road, which is so pretty. This is a very big palette. So there is 3 shades in this palette. We have Green Apple, Over the Rainbow, and Spooks. And I don't know what I want to do. I think I want to play with Over the Rainbow, but I'll definitely like swatch the formula for you guys to kind of get a feel of it. So this is the shade Spooks, and it's just a blue. That's really pretty. It has like a purple undertone to it. So that's really pretty. Alright, next up we have Over the Rainbow. Now this one has different colors like swirled into it. Oh, this is going to be the one that I'm going to use because it's like a gold shade. That's really pretty. And then we have Apple Tree. Apple Tree was obviously for the apple tree in the movie. Oh, and it's a green. I don't know if you can tell or not. I kind of picked like bad places on my hand to like swatch. This is why I don't do swatches. But it's just a green. I'll definitely do like a close-up for y'all of like all the swatches. So I think what I'm going to do is go into the shade Over the Rainbow because it's really, really pretty. And I was not expecting it to be like a gold. Obviously, these are going to translate very differently on the face or the eye. I mean, you can totally use like the green and the blue in this as eyeshadow if you wanted to, or like inner corner highlights. So obviously they're going to translate very differently like on the face than they are like swatched on the hand. I would like to just kind of throw that out there, but I'm going to go into the shade Over the Rainbow because it's really pretty. And I'm going to play with it. So I'm going to swirl my brush into this. I don't know what brush this is. This came from an Ipsy bag, so I kind of forgot what it was called. Okay, so it is a little, it does have like gold that reflects in it. You can kind of tell that it has, like up close, you can kind of tell like it has specks of green and like purple and pink and a little bit of blue in it. But for the most part, it's like a gold. It's really, really pretty. It's very subtle. If I can kind of tell on camera that it's like a very subtle highlight. It's not a very bright in your face highlight. But I feel like because it is a baked formula, you could totally get it to, well, over here it looks a little bit more poppin'. My highlight always sets better on this side of my face. Everybody that does makeup or wears makeup, I feel like we all have like a favorite side for like our face. Like This is my favorite eye. This eye always turns out blended better, and this is like my favorite side for like face makeup because it always, like my cheap products always set better on this side. Okay, so that's a really pretty highlight. Huh, I wasn't expecting to like it this much, but I do. I really, really like it. It's a nice baked formula. Because it's a baked formula, it's a little bit more of a softer, more finely condensed powder. So it kind of goes on a bit more smoothly than a regular formula does. And you can definitely build it up if you want to, which I kind of in a way have. I like this palette. So I don't think that this is like something that you need in your collection, but if you like highlighter, this might be a good little item to have just in your makeup stash. Really not least, we have 2 glosses in the collection. So the first one that we have is LTB Oh My, Lions, Tigers, and Bears Oh My. And this is just kind of like a terracotta with gold shimmer in it. So I'm going to swatch both of these shades for you. But ultimately what we're going to do is we're going to use the shade Good Witch. And it's just pink, but right now I'm going to swatch this one for you. Now, these would pair really nicely with like an eye, or a lip liner, not an eyeliner. But these would pair really nicely with like a lip liner. But I'm going to cheat and just use this by itself. It does have like a nice little sheen to it. And it does feel like it is a plumping gloss. Because I'm kind of feeling it tingle a little bit. So I'm going to assume that it is a plumping gloss. And this is what the shade LTB Oh My looks like. Lions, Tigers, and Bears. It is a very beautiful neutral shade. I definitely can see me reaching for this more often. And they do have like a sweet scent to them, and they're a sponge tip applicator. So I like this. I like the component too because it's green and gold, and it's really, really pretty. So this is what the shade LTB looks like. Alright, now I'm going to go into the shade Good Witch. This one has more of like, a sweet, but almost like a more floral kind of scent to it. I don't really know how to describe the scent, but this one has a little bit of a different scent than this one. And again, they're the same component, like they're green at the top with gold, and then the sponge tip applicator. Now this one is a pink with blue, silver. I did see some gold in it and some green glitter in it, whereas this one, just to me, LTB looks like it just has straight up gold glitter. This one has a little bit more of like a mixed. Alright, so now we're going to go over the products that I really did like in the collection. I loved the lip glosses, especially the shade Good Witch, which is what I'm wearing. It's a really pretty color. I also like the shade LTB Oh My. I keep forgetting what it's called. But it's a really beautiful nude color, so I do like that one as well. I love the lip mask. And I just looked down and noticed. I didn't notice this when I did like the initial review, but it has glitter in it. Like, how fun is that? So I do like that as well. It did a really good job at moisturizing my lips, and I love like chapsticks, lip moisturizers, lip masks. So this is just a personal thing for me, like I'm obsessed with. So I really, really like this. But my favorite thing in the whole entire collection, the whole collection is amazing. Very good quality. The highlighters were very pretty, very glowy, very easy to blend out. But my favorite thing is this palette. There is no place like home palette. I love this palette. If there's one item in this whole collection I feel like you should go out and buy, it is this palette right here, because I am just obsessed with the eye look that I created with this palette. I'm obsessed with how the shadows blended out, or the pigments blended out. I'm very, very impressed. This is a very, very good pigment formula. kind of reminds me almost a little bit of the Pigment Palace formulation. And I love the Pigment Palace. And sadly, they're no longer a company. But I did like that palette. So I love this palette. I love the highlighter palette. I'd say probably my top 3 things would be the eyeshadow palette, the glosses, and the lip mask. And then 2 optional items that I feel like, you know, you could get if this is just your thing or something you're interested in, would be the highlighter palette and the mirror. I feel like the mirror would be like a good collection piece. I also feel that way about the highlighter palette as well, especially if you're into like really, really creative makeup and you want a lot of like really like fun colors, then I feel like the highlighter palette would be really, really good for you to have for that as well. So yeah, I really love this collection. It was an amazing collection. It's amazing quality. Congratulations, Rising Star MUA, for this amazing collection. I can't wait to see what other collections you release in the future, because this was bomb.com. So yeah, I will see you all in my next video really, really soon. Be sure to give this video a big thumbs up down below, and also don't forget to give this video a good comment down below as well, and let me know what was your favorite piece. Also, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, because I'm here for you with new videos every week. So yeah, I'll see you all in the next video. Bye, my little unicorns. Thanks for watching.